The emperor who made his horse a senator dared to humiliate Rome's elite and defy centuries of tradition. In the heart of ancient Rome, one emperor shocked the world with an act so bizarre it still echoes today. They say Caligula tried to turn his beloved horse into a senator. Was this madness, mockery, or something far more political? To understand the story, we must first step into the grandeur of Rome in the 1st century CE. The empire was at its zenith, cities buzzing with trade, legions controlling vast territories, and senators debating laws in the Curia. Yet beneath this splendor lay power struggles, ambition, and corruption. It was in this environment that Gaius Caesar, Augustus Germanicus, better known as Caligula, came to rule. His reign would be remembered not for expansion or reform, but for shocking tales that blurred the line between history and legend. Born in 12 CE, Caligula was the great-grandson of Augustus, Rome's first emperor. As a boy, he traveled with his father Germanicus, adored by the legions. Soldiers gave him the nickname Caligula, meaning little boots, after the tiny soldier's boots he wore. When he ascended the throne in 37 CE, hopes were high. At first, Caligula was praised as generous and just, but within months, rumors began. Erratic behavior, cruelty, and bizarre decisions that shook Rome's elite. Was he a madman or a clever manipulator testing the Senate's limits? Among Caligula's strangest obsessions was his horse, Incitatus, whose name meant swift or spirited. This was no ordinary horse. He was treated like royalty. Ancient writers claimed Incitatus had a marble stable, an ivory manger, purple blankets, and even a collar studded with precious jewels. Servants fed him oats mixed with gold flakes. But was this merely extravagance or a symbol? Some historians believe Caligula elevated his horse not out of love, but as a weapon against the Senate's dignity. The most famous claim comes from Suetonius, a Roman historian writing decades after Caligula's death. He wrote that Caligula planned to make Incitatus a consul, one of Rome's highest offices. Others say he wanted to grant the horse a senatorial seat. Whether or not it actually happened, the story stuck. Was it madness, satire, or political theater? Suetonius himself admits Caligula often mocked the Senate, calling them useless. Appointing a horse may have been a way of saying, "Even my horse is more competent than you." Our main accounts of Caligula come from Suetonius, Cassius Dio, and later Tacitus. But there's a catch. All wrote decades, even centuries, after Caligula's reign. Their works often mixed gossip, rumor, and exaggeration to entertain readers. Roman historians delighted in portraying bad emperors as monsters. It's possible the tale of Incitatus was distorted, or even invented to tarnish Caligula's reputation. Still, the persistence of the story shows how strongly it symbolized his contempt for Rome's political class. The Roman Senate had once been powerful, guiding the Republic, but under emperors, its authority dwindled. Caligula, like others before him, clashed with senators. By elevating his horse, real or imagined, he made a clear statement: their titles meant nothing. Imagine sitting in the Curia and hearing that an emperor's animal outranks you. It wasn't just cruelty, it was humiliation packaged as absurdity. This symbolic insult ensured the Senate would never forget who held true power. The horse story wasn't unique. Caligula was accused of outrageous extravagance, building floating palaces, holding lavish games, and declaring himself a living god. He allegedly ordered a golden bridge of boats across the Bay of Baiae, simply so he could ride across it in triumph. Such spectacles drained Rome's treasury, but also reinforced his dominance through sheer shock value. Whether these tales are fully true or exaggerated, they paint a picture of a ruler who wielded spectacle as a weapon. Ancient sources gleefully described Caligula as insane, claiming he conversed with the moon, ordered soldiers to collect seashells as spoils of war, and demanded divine worship. But modern historians ask, was he truly mad or deliberately eccentric? By acting unpredictably, Caligula kept rivals off balance. The horse as senator tale fits this theme, a calculated shock designed to provoke outrage while tightening his grip on Rome. For ordinary Romans, Caligula's eccentricities were entertaining until taxes and executions hit home. Many laughed at the idea of a horse senator, but senators themselves bristled. To the aristocracy, it wasn't a joke but an insult to their centuries-old tradition. For Caligula, humiliating them strengthened his position as absolute ruler. This story, real or exaggerated, captured the everyday Roman tension, awe of imperial spectacle versus resentment of tyranny. The horse wasn't just an animal, it carried heavy symbolic weight. To Romans, horses represented military might, speed, and divine favor. By raising incitatus, Caligula could be linking himself to power beyond human institutions. Imagine senators mocked, while a symbol of military loyalty and nobility, an animal untarnished by corruption, was exalted in their place. This makes the act less absurd and more like a pointed, brutal statement. Caligula's reign became darker as time passed. He executed senators, confiscated property, and punished critics mercilessly. The Senate lived in fear. If he truly intended to elevate incitatus, it wasn't about affection. It was about demonstrating his absolute control. If I can make a horse a consul, the message implied, then you are worth less than nothing. This fear fed the legends that surrounded him long after his death. Some scholars believe the story may have been ancient satire, a way for historians to caricature to Caligula's arrogance. Roman writers loved moralizing tales. Turning a horse into a senator made for a perfect symbol of tyranny and mockery. Whether Caligula ever said these words or not, the fact that people believed it reveals how outrageous his reputation had become. The blurred line between truth and myth makes the story immortal. In 41 CE, Caligula's reign ended violently. Members of the Praetorian Guard and senators conspired to kill him. Struck down in a palace corridor, he died at just 28 years old. His wife and daughter were also executed. The Senate hoped to restore the Republic, but the guards installed Claudius, Caligula's uncle, as the next emperor. The empire endured, but Caligula's bizarre legacy, especially the horse story, was sealed forever. Though Caligula ruled less than 4 years, his name became synonymous with madness and cruelty. Later emperors were compared to him whenever they abused power. His horse, incitatus, became a symbol passed down through generations, a reminder of how absolute power can degrade institutions. Whether or not incitatus truly held office, the story represents Rome's uneasy balance between spectacle and governance. The tale of Caligula's horse echoes in later history. Dictators across eras used absurdity and humiliation to crush opposition. By comparing his story with rulers who staged bizarre displays of loyalty, we see a pattern, the blending of mockery, power, and fear. Caligula's horse may not have worn a toga, but the idea shaped how we understand tyranny. So, did Caligula really make his horse a senator? The answer? Probably not. But the fact that historians believed it, or wanted readers to believe it, speaks volumes. The story transcends literal truth. It captures the essence of Caligula's rule: theatrical, humiliating, and unforgettable. Even if Incitatus never entered the Senate, his shadow still lingers in every retelling. Why does this story still fascinate us? Because it's more than a quirky anecdote. It's a lesson in how power can distort reality. When rulers place loyalty above competence, or mock the very institutions meant to check them, democracy and order crumble. Incitatus stands as a timeless warning. Absurdity can be a mask for tyranny. Incitatus may never have worn senatorial robes, but his name is etched into history. He embodies how propaganda, satire, and memory can outlast facts. For historians, the horse is both puzzle and parable. For us, he's a reminder that the strangest stories often carry the deepest truths. The tale of Caligula and his horse shows how legend and history intertwine. Whether true or exaggerated, it forces us to ask, what will future generations believe about our time? In the end, history isn't just what happened, it's the stories people choose to tell. If this deep dive sparked your curiosity, explore more strange corners of history. You'll be surprised what else has been forgotten.